is we're going to dive in. We've been preparing you for everything you need to know about the NFL draft, about who to look out for, who can help your team, and who's going to be a good fit for a lot of the teams that are lining up in the first round. We will be covering on this channel a massive event here for the NFL draft. It'll just be yours truly, but I'm going to have all of Scott's notes. He's going to give me everything he was looking forward to because he is going to be out of town, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to have some fun with some bingo, which was a great suggestion by Riley. So we're going to be doing that. We're going to have some YouTube clips of each player that's drafted. We're going to have a ticker. We're going to have the sound effect. We're going to have everything happening here live, player profiles, you name it. So make sure you guys hit that follow button in your little browser if you're not following the channel, because that's how you know when we're going to go live. We are live every Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. So we are going to just blow things out of the water for the NFL draft. Make sure you guys are here. But we've already covered all the major position groups except for linebacker and tight end. You can catch all of those other video clips on those other positions that we broke down in our YouTube. If you want, go to our ! Socials. You will find our YouTube link. So make sure you go give those a look in case you're curious on what we said about the other positions. Rec, can you throw in the chat the socials for me, please? Thank you. What else? And actually, I am going to turn that on.
I was also going to say, have fun with this guy's name on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
No, this is part of the reason I put in our top 5 linebackers. I could have gone a couple ways with number 5, but just for Chris, I got it.
Joke's on you. You're introducing this first one.
Henry out of Alabama. That was easy.
Henry.
That wasn't hard at all. You didn't know how to say Henry?
Oh, Henry.
That is unfair. Good old Henry. You guys know him. You know him. We don't have to say the last name.
Wait, is this the green engine from Thomas?
This is what?
Is this the green engine from Thomas? If no one gets the reference, I'm upset.
I don't.
Are you talking about Thomas? Like the end fire, the train engines?
The train?
Yes.
Thomas the trains?
No.
Be his name.
Nope,
That's
it's
gotta
not
be
that.
it.
No.
Oh, what is it, Rec? Go ahead. What is it?
Henry To'o.
I don't even think that's right.
No.
That sounds wrong.
Thomas the tank engine?
Yep.
But right now we are covering this is the linebacker crew as we are, getting into this first list. Henry To'o. I'm going to go with it. Out of Alabama, 6'2", 228 pounds, 4'6", 40. We have a player comp to Christian Kirksey. Now, elite athlete, very instinctive. As a senior, impressed. But I think, as far as this goes, he is going to be a player that you might want to look at maybe middle to late first round at the peak, and maybe getting into the second round potentially if things end up falling. But Sky, you said no. You think he's going to go in the first round?
No, to be clear, we're listing 5 linebackers, and none of them should sniff the first round.
Oh, well.
First of all, I'm not a big taking a linebacker. Name me a linebacker in the last 5 years that's been taken in the first round that's really, really helped a defense ultimately. I can maybe think of one. So if you guys mention that one, I might agree with it. But that one doesn't even play for the team that drafted him anymore. So outside of that, and these are off-ball linebackers. These aren't your 3-4 linebackers that are pass rushers that we're talking about. So these are off-ball, second, middle
inside
of your defense.
Inside linebackers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And outside, but not your 3-4 pass rushing linebackers. These are off-ball linebackers. Not off the
edge, yeah.
He's this guy's solid. He has good instincts. He plays the position well. He's smart. He's pretty small, Chris. 228. 228's very small for a linebacker. And that showed up at times on tape where he's not shy about being physical. He will absolutely jump in and try and be physical, but sometimes he loses that battle. His mind is I'm 250, and it turns out he's only 228, and he loses those physicality matchups at times. in run defense. He can play. He's pretty solid as far as pass coverage. I wouldn't say elite. 4.62 is great for a linebacker, but at 228, maybe you'd want him to be a little quicker than that. But he's probably more a sub package linebacker that comes in more on your pass downs to help in the pass game with his quickness and speed, and not going to play a lot in your base, run defense that's looking to stop the run or put a lot in the box. So he's fine. I wouldn't take him before the 3rd round probably. And there's a lot of guys that probably start jumping off once you get into that 3rd, 4th round. There's going to be a lot of linebackers coming off the board. I honestly don't think one's going to go in the 1st round, nor do I think they should.
Okay, there you go. So yeah, inside linebacker, middle, I think this is kind of an interesting. We talked a little bit about some of the positions that maybe aren't as deep as they might be normally other years. Now tight ends is a little bit deeper. Obviously, this is a decent tight end class at the top of it.
Top is pretty good.
Top is pretty good, but then it kind of it fades a little bit. But the linebackers isn't exactly deep. So just keep that in mind when you're taking a look at this.
I mean, the fact that Rec giggled before he completed that chat, or as he was sending that chat, is unbelievable. Come on,
man.
And Rec.
Jeez,
now you're banned.
Now you're banned. Get out of here. He's going to be 2nd or 3rd stringer, says Nick. In the whatever team he lands on. To'o, says Devil Doc. So we got the pronunciation there. To'o. Yeah. Brandon, what's up? What's going on? Welcome in. 24 Monday Montreal. Thanks. Hey, welcome in. Good to see you. Good to have you in. Next up, number 4 on our list. Let's get it. Dayon Henley, Washington State. Dayon Henley, Washington State linebacker, 6'1", 230 pounds, 4.54 40. Jerome Baker is the player comp. 106 tackles, 4 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, pass broken up and an interception. Tough defender with speed, playmaking ability. He could potentially be a future 3-down starter, but I think with some of this, there's still the fact that he's going to probably go mid rounds, so 2nd, 3rd round at the top end of what he's projected for. But Scotty, what's good about Mr. Henley here, and why is he going to be a good fit for a potential team?
He has the traditional route of most linebackers that come into the league. He started as a dual threat quarterback recruit, headed to Nevada, and then he went at Nevada, and then he went and moved to there. He actually changed almost immediately to wide receiver. Chris, he transitioned, played as a true freshman for the Nevada Wolfpack at wide receiver. And then eventually switched over to linebacker. He's very much, even more so than Otto. And I said that right. Don't worry about it.
It was great.
Out.
Yeah. I somehow got like Asian almost on me. I don't know what happened there, but anyway, he's a guy that's pretty good in space. For me, at the linebacker play, if I'm drafting a linebacker in the first few rounds, I want a guy that's better in pass coverage than he is as a run stopper. I want a guy that, because constantly, through the years, Chris, you've seen this with Denver. Denver's biggest weakness on defense for years, it seemed like, was at the linebacker covering tight ends, and at that position in the middle of the field, they were susceptible. Otherwise, the defense was really, really solid. And I feel like that's been even with the Chiefs at times. Coverage linebackers are hard to find. And this guy's a coverage linebacker. 4.54, so he's quick, still pretty small, so he's not going to be your in the box linebacker similar to Henry, but has a skill set. He's still somewhat learning the position, but the athletic traits are there. And honestly, I don't know. He'll be solid in coverage, I think. and obviously has good hands. He was a wide receiver, Chris.
I mean, hey, I mean, Nick in the chat is like might be turned into a corner. I mean, I guess he
or
could
a safety
or a
at least.
safety maybe. Keep close. If D Winters isn't in here, but these two are, I'm unsubscribing.
Hey, keep close. I appreciate you subbing for the times you did. It means a lot.
Bruh.
It means a lot.
Oh, is that
Winters? D Winters. I don't even know if D Winters would have made my top 10, bro. Get out of here. I don't know if you watched that Natty, but D Winters was. I don't know. Was he present when they were getting 70 put up on him?
I mean,
Yeah, he was pretty cold out there.
Okay.
Okay, gosh. Ban wreck.
Well, now you're banned.
But, I mean, can we mute him for a little bit?
There you go. Henley coming in at number 4. Numbers.
These linebackers are hard to talk about because I am not excited about this group, to be clear, at all.
Yeah,
there's not a single guy in this group. Even at number 1, I'm like,
What are you more excited about, the linebackers or the wide receivers this year?
Oof.
Wide receivers.
Wow.
And even
and
then,
it's not a great group. I understand that. But
no, but
definitely wide receivers.
Next up,
linebacker might be the least important position on a defense, as regardless of how good they are.
Jack Campbell coming in here at number 3, linebacker out of Iowa, 6'5", 246, 4.6, 540. We have a player comp to a name that I am familiar with, Josie Jewell, in this year's coming into this year's draft at linebacker number 3. Now go ahead, Scotty, jump in on what you like about Jack Campbell, and I'll tag in here in a minute.
Yeah, Chris. If you know anything about your boy Josie Jewell, who was with the Broncos,
yep.
This guy's very different from the last two guys we talked about. This is your best Mike linebacker in this class. In the box, run, can hit, has pop, gets off blocks, powerful player, strong. 246, so quite a bit heavier than the 228 and 230 we just had with the last two guys. Really good instincts, does everything. I mean, his name's Jack Campbell. Like, is there any more of a name for a Big Ten linebacker than Jack Campbell?
I mean, that seems like on brand.
Seamless.
Yeah.
If he didn't go to Iowa, he would have gone to Wisconsin. I'm sure of it.
Yeah. One of those.
Now, he's not quite the athlete of some of these other guys. Not a great mover in space. So as far as asking him to be a cover guy, as Josie Jewell was asked to at times and didn't go great, I wouldn't love putting him in that situation. But as far as if you want to draft a guy that's strictly to put in the Mike spot and kind of dominate in the run game and be a impact, there, he's your guy. He's the best at that of these linebackers that we're going to talk about tonight.
Yeah, and he's, one of the higher rated linebackers by certain teams. So some teams have a little bit of higher rating on him, saying that maybe if he falls to the bottom of the first, early second, maybe to the mid-second round. But that's kind of,
people should be fired.
I mean, hey,
if anyone takes him in the first round, that GM should lose his job on the spot.
There's going to be some GMs potentially losing their jobs then. But yeah, Campbell, 125 tackles, 1 pass broken up, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, and then an interception off of CJ Stroud at one point as well. But great combine overall. His 40 time was good, but not great. But his field work was very good. Impressive intelligence. He's got a little bit of everything you would want in a linebacker. So I think, given the fact that it's not as deep of a class, I think you still, if you're choosing from, any of these guys, he's definitely going to be on your radar for, one of those picks if you're needing to fill a gap there at the linebacker position. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at with Jack Campbell. So yeah, maybe some GMs
Nick,
getting fired.
Jack, by Mike, I mean that's a middle linebacker position. So he is Jack Campbell's strictly a middle linebacker in the end. No chance on the outside.
So let's see what else. In my mock draft, he went to the Lions in the 2nd round, says Chairman.
That's probably too soon. And you should have hated that mock. Did you make that mock, Chairman?
You might
Wait.
you might get him round 3.
Wait,
says Rex.
did you pick him? Don't pick him. Don't pick him.
Let's
Not
see.
in the second. If you can get him around 3, you could talk me into it.
Let's see. ROC, keep close. ROC and DC were both off fielding job offers. Revisit when he had Bijan to 29 yards and then outscored Donovan Edwards in the Fiesta Bowl. Are you going back? I mean, I think he's going back to what's it, D Winters. Is that? I think is who you're referring to in there.
Maybe.
We're just gonna ignore the national championship game then. We're just gonna ignore that one.
Chairman, yes, I did pick him. I only drafted for the Lions. The computer drafted for the other teams.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Once you said that, I should have known that's the case, and I apologize. Good pick, Chairman.
Keep close is going to die on that hill though for D Winters. That's all right.
Okay,
it's all right.
All right. When D Winters becomes the GOAT linebacker, keep close. Are you a TCU fan or remind me? Or you just really like D Winters for some reason?
He's that's his boy. It's your boy. All right. Next up we have Trenton Simpson, linebacker out of Clemson, 6'3", 240, 4'4", 340. And Jamin Davis is the player comp. 73 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, 2.5 sacks, and 3 passes batted in 2022. And yeah, he decided, hey, it's my time. I need to join this draft. But a lot of people like his size and speed, which, I think a lot of people, are really evaluating him from those standpoints and like really excited about what they're seeing. Some people think he might be a better like safety-ish, kind of like a flex defender can potentially, kind of slotting him into a couple different roles. He's kind of like, a little flexible in that sense. But where do you see him panning out in the NFL?
Yeah, he's a great athlete. Obviously, you look at 240, 4'4", 340. So the quickest linebacker we've talked about thus far. Pretty decent size, maybe still a little. I mean, he's long, and long limbed, but thick enough at 240 where he can hold up against some guys that are hitting him at the, from the offensive line. He might be the best. On tape you see a pass rusher that can potentially be the best pass rusher of the linebacker group in this draft with that speed at 4.43, and if you just give him a line and give him, straight line to the quarterback, he could be elite in that sense. His weaknesses are, I don't know if he has the instincts that you maybe look for. Like he's a little slow with that athleticism. He's a little slow to react and, trust what he's seeing and read the right, hold a, gap to play or wherever it may be. A little slower because the physical traits on paper are there, but you don't always see that on tape. I think, again, he can play in space. He's not going to be an elite in the box linebacker for you, but play in space, really, quality blitzer if you ask him to do that from the linebacker spot. And that's why he falls at number 2 for us.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think to your point, I mean, he has some issues here and there when he, gets caught behind some blocks or, trying to get back out of those blocks. He can be overly aggressive when it comes to pushing certain plays and getting caught in certain plays, jamming at the point of attack. I think there's a few things that he's struggled with here and there, but overall, I mean, the fact that he's, versatile skills, hard hitting. I mean, he's got some of those other factors. So it's kind of like he's kind of you hope he can like iron some of those other aspects out of what he can get caught up with from a negative standpoint. But overall, yeah.
Keep close. Slept on the couch of D Winters, so it makes a lot more sense now. He says Simpson is a flex. He's only playing linebacker because Clemson doesn't play anyone. Well, he's 13 pounds heavier than D Winters, so I don't know. I mean, just saying.
Just saying. All right, so there you go. Trenton Simpson coming in at number 2. Number 1 on the linebacker list here tonight. You have Drew Sanders here, Scotty. Drew Sanders coming in, and He's got, we're talking about versatile players, very versatile here, instinctual playmaker. Top to bottom, he's going to be one of the highlight guys coming out of this group. Scotty, go ahead. What do you like about him? Why is he number one on our linebacker list?
I mean, he has what you look for. He's long, lean, like long arms, can play in the passing lanes, can tackle with that. He's the most all-around linebacker of the five we're talking about. He's a jack of all trades. I feel like he can be an asset in all situations. 233, he's not huge, but and maybe at times could improve his tackling a little bit. But beyond that, there's he can do anything that you ask of him. You can put him in space. You can have him as a blitzer. You can have him in the run game. He's a 4-down linebacker that you can ask to do whatever you want, and he's going to come through for you. 103 tackles. He actually started his career at Alabama and transferred to Arkansas, but he had 9.5 sacks last year at the linebacker spot. So 13.5 tackles for loss. So an elite player at the linebacker position. I still think he's a second round guy for me. But to me, he's clearly the number one prospect at the linebacker position in this draft. If I'm taking a guy first at that spot. So,
yep.
We'll see. We'll see where he falls. Maybe he sneaks into late first, but I'd suspect second round for him. And he's a baller that will come in and he can play right away, fit in immediately, and play really well for you.
Well, he's played all over the field, which I kind of love, in the fact that, like, when you play all over the field, you get a little bit of like an idea of how to play other positions and how to defend other positions. In high school, he played quarterback, receiver, linebacker, and a few other spots. He was a 22nd overall player getting recruited out. People forget he started his career at Alabama, appearing in 15 games over 2 seasons before transferring to Arkansas in the 2022 season, having the crazy year that he had. Like you said, 103 tackles, 9.5 sacks, a pick, 5 pass deflections. I mean, 39 pressures per 4th among all off-ball linebackers. I mean, he's a stud. So not only does he, really understand the game, but I think overall he's just a football player. So you kind of like that when you get a guy that's, again, played all the different positions, especially in high school, going into college, bounce around some big programs. Yeah, I think he's going to be a guy that you want to keep a tabs on. And when the second round rolls around, like, hey, if he's still hanging around there, maybe you take a little bit of a gamble on him. Who knows?
Noah Sewell. Listen, he might have been my number 5. It was, I wanted to say to instead of Noah Sewell, brother of Penei Sewell that went to Oregon, linebacker. He'll probably be a middle of the draft guy, 3rd, 4th round. Was a baller and a stud at Oregon for sure. So he'll be in the mix, and obviously has some pedigree with his brother dominating out in Detroit. So maybe you should have taken him. All right, Chairman, in your mock draft. What about Noah Sewell? Nick, so far we have 3 linebackers who can play cornerback and safety. Henry To'ororo might end up going into the XFL, and then Jack Campbell. Yeah, listen, it's not a great class. And to be clear, the linebacker position is becoming a position where, like, you want guys that maybe could theoretically, not corner, but play maybe some safety. Like, a safety that can step into the box and still provide against the run and have some size, but play in coverage. Like, that's what you need in the NFL these days. Like, you can't have the old school traditional linebackers that play downhill and just hit hard, but are slow footed and can't change direction. Just don't play as well in the NFL anymore with what the league is. Yeah.
So halftime in Minnesota.
Yeah. Halftime, 52-48, Nuggets up. I'm looking at the box score of this game, and we have scoring Jokic tonight, Scotty. We have scoring Jokic. He is leading the Nuggets, 14 points, 8 rebounds. When I see only 1 assist in the assist column, I'm like, oh man, they're giving him some lanes to just work. I haven't watched this game like very, very close, but I know that maybe I should keep close, right? Keep. That was bad. That was terrible. But okay. It was worth a shot. But
can
yeah,
move on.
Jokic is in score mode. Jokic tonight, so I'm curious to see what he ends. He could finish the game with like 35 points, double, maybe he gets in. But they're giving him some scoring. Jamal Murray, 12 points, 5 of 11 shooting, much like same stat as Jokic from the field. Literally from all the shooting perspective, they're exactly the same. Then you have Aaron Gordon, 11 points. Michael Porter Jr., slow start from 3, 0 for 3, 6 points. Let's see, who's putting in work? Karl Anthony Towns decided to show up tonight. 13 points.
Cat sighting?
Cat sighting. 13
I saw
points.
him whining a couple times when I was watching, but
Yeah, he does that.
kind of a B. But he hasn't missed a shot from the field. He's 4-4, 5 of 7 from the line. So I don't know what he's whining about. He got 7 free throw attempts in the first half.
Yeah,
And
he's
he's Charmin soft, so I don't even know how he's getting those calls.
and then Gobert's back to his
The Nuggets
normal
as a
line.
the Nuggets as a team only had 5 free throw attempts in the half. Towns had 7 on his own and 15 as a team for Minnesota. So, and still the Nuggets are up at half. I think last game, what was it, Chris? I think it was like the Nuggets lost the free throw attempts battle by like 20 plus and still won the game. So we're just clearly a better team. Not a big deal.
Keep close. Harder cats to see in the real life: mountain lion or 20-point cat. I would go even further. Maybe you get into like the weird, like the what is it? What's that one? The Black Panther that lives. That's like a
That's
a myth.
That's a Marvel character, Chris.
Well, it's a Marvel
You've
character too, but you know, I think there's like, isn't there like the a urban legend in like England of like a black cat running around? Sex Panther.
Aren't there black cats?
Yeah,
There are black cats. There's Black Panthers out there. That's like a real thing.
Yeah, although
I
the
don't
black
think
cat's
I don't think it's just in England, Chris.
I mean,
black cat's supposed to be bad luck.
but I think it's like a black jaguar or something in England or something.
Sure it's not like
I don't know. I go down like
Panther or
some.
puma. Like, what's the difference between all these cats? What was the team name of that team? The Catamounts. Like, they're
The
all
Catamounts is all the cats. So maybe it's like more. Yeah, I guess that could Pink Panther, bro. Yeah, Pink Panther.
Yeah, I think you were referencing Pink Panther.
No,
Chris. That's
no. Catamount.
not black.
No,
Pink.
go if you look at conspiracy theories. Cue the music. There's like a large black cat in like some sort of like in England or something, or you know, even I guess it's like Bigfoot almost. They treat it like Bigfoot. I guess it's out there in the wilderness somewhere. I don't know. I'm just saying, like,
I mean,
if you're putting the long story short, we're putting Karl Anthony Towns in the same conversation as Bigfoot, right? 20-point Karl Anthony Towns doesn't happen very often. You don't see it very often, but when people talk about it, you're like, do I believe it or no? You know? That's all I'm saying.
Anyways,
I'm just thrown off that you don't think a black like panther exists and that it's like Bigfoot.
No,
I don't know where to
there's
go from there.
no.
I don't know where to go from
there's
there,
certain
Chris.
like in like weird places, right? In weird places like England or something.
Like just hanging out and like.
Yeah, they're right here. Chairman threw it out there. Chairman's in British folklore. The Beast from Bodmin. Beast of Bodmin Moor. Whatever. Wildcat. It's scrolling on me. Sorry, I'm like losing.
Phantom Wildcat.
Yeah, Phantom Wildcat, black, and it's like an urban legend. I know y'all like some urban legends out there.
Be a Google machine.
Scott, this is why you need to come to more of these. Like the street.
Like, someone's got to call him out on this, whatever he's saying on this.
This happens when you're gone.
Yeah. I'm confused. I'm still confused.
Let's go talk about tight ends.
Oh, okay. All right. So there you go. There's our draft guide for the linebackers.